You're moving out? Congratulations! This is such an exciting time in your life, and it's busy, and daunting, and expensive, and overwhelming. But hopefully this video can help ease all of that just a little. Firstly, this is a big step and you should be really proud, so give yourself a pat on the back. But now you want to figure out what things you really need for those first few days in your new home. Because you don't need everything all at once for a place to be livable. Grab a pen and paper, a cup of tea and a snack, and let's run through some of these items. We're going to tackle this room by room. But to give you a little bit of background, I'm Courtney and I recently moved into this flat, which is my first place on my own out of the nest. I've been here now for 2 months and I've got just about everything I need, but I didn't have everything I need when I first moved, and I wish someone would have told me exactly what I needed. Firstly, the bedroom. There was definitely a few key things that I forgot about. Something to sleep on, whether that's a full-on bed, just a mattress, maybe just a sleeping bag, or if you've got a sofa, just sleep on the sofa. Something that you're going to be comfortable, and depends how bougie you are really. I was super lucky that I was given this bed by someone who was actually moving out of their house into another house, losing a guest bedroom, and this bed had never been used. So that was a win for me. But one thing I did forget about is the fact that I would need to have bedding. So if you do have something to sleep on, make sure you've got something to sleep under. Whether it's a duvet or just a sheet or a blanket, whatever works. If you've got a mattress, get a fitted sheet. That is what I forgot for this bedroom. It was a rocky few days until I found one. And lastly, something to cover the window, if there's not something there already. Because the last thing you want is some peeping Tom staring over you whilst you sleep. It doesn't necessarily have to be a full set of curtains, but just something that you can drape across the full window length until you get something permanent. That's the purpose of this video. I'm not telling you how to furnish your flat, but how to make it livable, whether it's temporary or permanent, so that you can just move in. Because let's be real, once you've secured the place, you just want to be in there. We made it. So now we're in the living room, and this one might surprise you. You only really need 2 things in the living room, and they're not even necessary. Firstly, something to sit on. Key use of the word something. That could be the floor. You can use camping chairs, dining chairs, armchairs, whatever is available to you. It's just nice to have something to plonk your bum down onto at the end of the day, but ultimately not overly necessary. You could sit on the floor if needed. And secondly, a workspace, maybe, if it's necessary. If you're a uni student and you have assignments to do, if you work from home and you need a workspace, not only do you need somewhere to sit and have your computer up on, you need it to look somewhat presentable in the background, but you can make that as cheap or as expensive as you like. That's it. They're the only things that you need. And we're using the word need in a living room. While it's a key space, ultimately doesn't really contain that much necessary stuff. However, if you do want more, you want to make it a more bougie space, use Facebook Marketplace. I got this sofa, which everyone loves, for £150 on Facebook Marketplace. Unbelievable, complete bargain, and perfect for the theme of my room. All of my furniture in here cost me less than £300, which is cheaper than the cost of one table brand new. Second-hand doesn't have to mean rubbish. You've just sometimes got to look through the deals, but you can find some great stuff on Facebook Marketplace. And while we're sitting here having a chat, friend to friend, if you've already moved out, what is one thing that you forgot that you would need? Leave it in the comments below in case I miss it or in case it's helpful to someone else. And if you're doing that, you might as well drop a like and maybe a subscribe at the same time. Right, come on. What are you waiting for? There's more rooms to talk about. Someone very inconsiderate has decided to start doing some landscaping works outside, so I apologise for the background noise, but nonetheless, we're in the kitchen. And this one is very difficult to advise on because really it totally depends on what your setup is. The main things to think about are washing up liquid and things to clean with, so Dettol, sponges, rags, whatever you use really to wipe down some sides and keep surfaces clean and do your washing up. Then when it comes to cooking, totally depends on your appliances obviously. So if you've got a hob and an oven, then you're going to need some pans for the top and some trays for the oven. But if you've only got microwave, then plates, bowls, all of that sort of stuff should cover you really. Microwave safe plates and bowls. In any case, you're going to need things to eat out of and with. So plates, bowls, cutlery, all of that kind of stuff. Unless you're going to be living off takeaway, in which case, go for your life. And if you're British, a kettle for your cup of tea, of course. One thing I totally forgot about throughout the whole flat was bins. You're going to need some kind of bin. Something you can throw your rubbish into. Even if you don't start out by separating your recycling and your regular rubbish, you need to at least have somewhere for it to go. And bins are more expensive than you might think. So find whatever works for you as a bin. One of my bins is literally a flower pot, but it looks great. Could you give girls some privacy? Of course, we're finishing in the bathroom. This is the room where you're probably going to need the most stuff because, let's be real, we spend a lot of time in here. And these are the little things that you might not think about if you've not already got them on hand. So let's start with the obvious. Shower stuff, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, whatever you use. If you haven't got any, get some. You'll need towels, something to dry yourself off with, maybe something to wash your face with, a little hand towel, whatever's in your usual routine. Toothbrush, toothpaste, gotta keep those pearly whites. But don't forget, toilet roll and hand wash. You're gonna need them, and you don't want to be caught short either, so make sure you've always got a little bit in supply. Over time, you can upgrade your space, and it can be relatively cheap to do so. For example, changing your shower head. And if you want to see just how easy it is, there's a short on my channel all about doing this. I'm fully settled in now, and even my bathroom still isn't done, so don't feel rushed to get everything finished in one time. I'm back, I'm a little bit windswept, I didn't get a chance to close this out earlier, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know below if there's anything I've forgotten. I really appreciate having you guys all here and all the support that I've had so far on the videos. And if you'd like to see a little more, go and check out my channel. I have all things to do with moving, lifestyle, and basically whatever I want to post. It's been lovely having you here. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Goodbye.